Hi, my name is Ivana Linnell. My presentation is about gender roles in fishing. This is an overview of the traditional and modern lifestyle experienced by male and female in fishing. We all know that fishing is an ancient type of activity. An earlier document of fishing is an artwork of Egyptians that dates back in 2000 BC, where Egyptians used rods and lines with nets for fishing, and fish was their main source of diet. In ancient China as well as Japan, cormorant fishing was the traditional way of fishing. However, its existence is dependent on tourism nowadays. During the 4th century, Chinese used silk line, a hook made from needles, and a bamboo rod with cooked rice as a bait. Fishing is a male-dominated type of activity, which until now males largely occupy this type of profession. Males are also normally involved in offshore and deep-sea fisheries, where they operate with fishing vessels, nets, and other gears. Traditionally, the purpose of fishing was to provide food for the family, and it was a sustainable source of income. The traditional female roles is that the women in small-scale and industrial fisheries was dedicated to post-harvest processing and marketing, where they process the fish so that they won't be perished and they sell them to the market. If they were a household wife, their work involves preparatory work such as mending nets to help their husband. The picture on the right shows the traditional equipment on fishing, such as the sharpened stone and rods. And the one at the bottom shows the modern fishing equipment. As fishing tools evolved from sharpened stones and rods to modern fishing poles, new regulations in fishing arose, and also the commencement of fishing agencies began in the U.S. 6 years after the Civil War, such as the U.S. Commission on Fish and Fisheries, that dedicate themselves on preservation and protection of fishes. As innovations and regulations occurred, throughout the U.S. history, females used to stay as housewives and were seen as caretakers of the family. But the roles were tainted in the 1920s when women were finally given the right to vote, and it was followed by Title IX in the 1970s when women were allowed to play sports. Yet, women still faced criticisms from the media, magazines, periodicals, and the community in general. This picture on the right corner shows Rosie the Riveter making a M muscle, and at the bottom right corner shows the 19th Amendment. Struggles faced by women even after the enactment of Title IX. This is an example of how the media portrays women even after the enactment of Title IX. Women suffered from prejudice because the community anticipates them as subordinates to men, for women are seen as biologically weaker than men. Then a study in ICF claims that women's work differ by culture or region and between rural areas. They said that women's work is rarely seen as productive and the society gives it a lower value, whether it is domestic work or an involvement in the community. With culture, a study in Australia asserts that although the perspectives on gender roles has been changing, the gender divisions in labor is still present. The seas and lakes are constituted as environments of primary economic agency where men generate products for the household and the market through direct harvesting of resources. However, Some cultures grant women a spiritual influence over the bounty taken from the sea. Fishing is man's leisure. Many men love to fish because they get the manly feeling that they would feed their mouths with something that they have really toiled for with their hands and not something coming from the local grocery store. This is the response of one of the fishermen I have interviewed in Berkeley. When I asked them how or what do they feel when they are fishing. And some of them responded that they fish because it satisfies their traditional primal hunting urge, while other men fish for relaxation and bonding with their family. Modern lifestyle of women in fishing. These are the pictures of women today. That circular picture is me. Thanks to all the innovations and regulations that made fishing easy for everyone, especially women. Women are able to fish with their children and husband participating. And for those who are single, they bring with them their friends and family to enjoy a lovely weather and bring snacks to eat. The U.S. statistics of women and men fishing. This graph shows that males still dominate the fishing activity and a sustainable number of women also fish. According to the U.S. Census, in the United States, the most common type of fishing is angling, where many men still engages in this activity. Yet, a sustainable amount of women also fish. Statistics claims, although more than women fished in 2006, a substantial number of women fished as well. 20% of all males 16 years and older went fishing, while 6% of females fished. Of the 30 million anglers who fish in the United States, 75% of 22.3 million were male, and 25% of 7.6 million were female.